I'm trying to look more natural in front of camera, but it's still quite challenging for me. So hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome to my channel. I want this channel mostly to be dedicated to my artworks, short animations and the process of making it. I thought it would be interesting to share it with you guys. Maybe I'll give you some useful tips, or at least you'll have some fun watching it, perhaps. As you can hear, I'm not native English speaker, but I want to do this in English. I hope my English will improve and I'll be more fluent. I'll be more fluent later on. I wouldn't call myself a pro. I'm not beginner, but I mean, I'm learning, and I'll try my best to make it look good at the end. Okay, let's do it. As you can see, this artwork is far from finished and it looks flat. This is the stage when I decided I'll start recording it. So I will need to add some shadows, highlights. It's also important to know where your light source is. In my case, it's coming from left to right. If you check my older artworks on Instagram, you can see that I used to have really messy lines, messy line work, and I'm trying to improve this. I always thought that line work is not so important. I always care about colors and cool lighting, atmosphere, but then I started getting feedback that I should work on lines, and yeah, I couldn't be further from the truth. It really, lines, now I know that lines do matter, and I try to be more precise and draw one line instead of 3 messy lines. I think it was kind of unorganized. The shadow on this building was quite tricky for me, and I'll fix this later. Now I will define the bricks. I will also add some wear on the fence. I think it looks more natural and believable by adding these details. These flowers in front will be blurred, but I will add some details anyway. So, as I said, the shadow was quite tricky, and you can see it's not completely right. I think it doesn't look good. So I decided to recreate this scene in Blender, just by using simple shapes, boxes and so on. I did this in Blender E, and this shows us how the shadows would approximately look like. In past, I probably wouldn't use this, as I thought it might be some form of cheating or something, but I think it isn't. It's just the reference for us, and why not to use it? It's a great tool, and it helped a lot. I might desaturate these flowers later on, as I think they draw too much attention, but we don't want that, as they are not the main subject of this picture. It's really important to notice there might be something in front of her too, which will cast shadows on her. I will put just some simple plants or shadows of leaves on her clothes. Also add some details to the background. Okay. And now it's time to add highlights. I think this is one of the most important steps, as highlights will draw your attention. As highlights will draw your attention to the details you want to see, to the things you want to see the most. I wasn't really sure about these highlights. I thought I would give something stronger on her face, but At the end I decided I leave it this way. Also adding some gloss, some highlight to an eyeball. I think it adds kind of life to that character. In past I usually put strong highlight on lips, but not anymore. I think this will be okay. Hi Snakey! Let's put some shine on that face! I think this pattern is not really the best, the most realistic way to put highlights on it, but I sort of liked how it looks. Birds need some highlights too, but I will not overdo it. And now the fence. Now I will define waves, but have in mind you should not use contrast too much in background, as it will draw attention to the background, and in most cases we don't want that. Also, we must not forget the water has some refraction, the light goes through it, and the sand underneath would be visible at some point. I would also like to add colors to my lines, the line work. I think it blends better with the shading. I didn't want to have those harsh black lines. I think it's okay in animation or some illustrations, it's fine, but I want to colorize it here. I decided to add some curtains in front. I like the things in front which are in blur. I think it will add even more depth to the atmosphere, to the environment. But I will make this a bit transparent, so the shadows from it will be not so harsh. I will paint some soft glow effect now, and it should reproduce the artifact of real-world cameras. You may know this from older games as bloom effect, and this was overly used back in the days, so I will not overdo it. And I will also include subtle light rays. I made background more faded and less saturated. The first things you notice are usually areas like eyes, so I will increase contrast in these parts. Also, edges should be darker. And the last thing I'm doing, I will add some chromatic aberration. I think in the past this was mostly an unwanted effect, but now it's widely used. This is absolutely not necessary. I just like how it looks. It's also known as color fringing, and it's a common problem with lenses which occurs when the colors are incorrectly refracted. And yeah, we're done. So yeah, that's it guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to stay tuned for upcoming stuff, consider subscribing me, hit the bell button, consider following me on Instagram. You should. And yep, that's all for now, see you next time.